All right, my friends, welcome back to another episode. So, on this episode, we're going to be covering something we've never really talked about before, and that is backpacks. So, pack your bags, guys, because we got a lot to discuss here. All right, so backpacks, what are they? Why do you need them? Why are they important? What's the benefits? So, those are the things we're going to look at. All right, so this is all the backpacks, and we're going to be covering the hip pouch, the messenger bag, small backpack, basic backpack, large backpack, commuter, the day pack, military day pack, trekker backpack, rucksack, large rucksack, the bunny backpack, Jacko backpack, Santa's gift sack, and the barrel backpack. So, looking at the backpacks, there are a ton of these. Let me make sure that I didn't miss one here. Sometimes I miss items when I'm going through these, so I want to make sure I got them all. Okay. Looks like I'm good. So, what are backpacks? So, backpacks are an item that you can equip. So, if you're looking at your character right here, so if I go to my inventory, this is my character, I have a backpack slot. So, for example, I can equip this hip pouch. All right, well, now I have, this is my backpack up here. So, now I have 4 more locations. Now, one thing I want to say is, just because I have 4 slots right here, if you look at this, I have 1 backpack slot. You see where it says that in the green? Well, there's right below that it says 3 slots. So just like other items in the game, I can go, let me grab some cash out here. I can go to the yard, and actually let's do it like this. Let me just, let's do this. Let me go to the market. Let's find a hip pouch. All right, so we have a hip pouch and we have my hip pouch, right? So there's the first one that I just bought, 1 backpack slot. Here's another one, 1 backpack slot and 3 slots. So the difference here obviously is 3 slots, but how does that happen? So looking at the backpacks, the hip pouch. So let's say I have mine on, okay? And now I have, my backpack, the hip pouch, 1 plus the 3 gives me the 4. Well, how did I do that? If you're looking at the yard and you have the basic one, so 1 backpack slot, you can take this backpack and you can rather enhance it, which adds a random bonus of stats to the weapon or armor, or you can weapon armor godcraft, which gives it the perfect stats. So perfect stats for a backpack or hip pouch, whatever you want to call it, the perfect stats are +3 spaces. So +3 there, +3, +3, +3, +3. So you can get up to 3, but if you just do enhance, I got +1. So now, if I were to take my 1 off that's got the 3, I now have 1 backpack slot plus another slot. So I have a 2 slots in total. So there's my hip pouch. This one's got 2. This one's got 4. This is a +3, and this is a +1. You automatically get the 1 slot for free. So that's kind of how that works. And then when you're in the yard, you can try to roll. And what I mean by roll, I mean just keep enhancing until you get the +3. So there's a +2, +2, +1, +1. So again, depending on how much it costs to roll, it may be beneficial to just roll. Or let's say I don't want to keep doing that. You can click and drag. And I can pay 5 million, and now I have a G seed, which means Godcraft. Now I have a Godcraft, which is max crafting, hip pouch. So I essentially paid 5 million bucks and gained 3 more slots. So that's how crafting works, or I'm sorry, I should say enhancing or rolling backpacks work. So looking at the backpacks, you have the hip pouch, which gives you a total of 1 spot, right? So 1 slot by default. That's the smallest backpack you're going to get. Then you're going to move up to 2 backpack slots, and that's the messenger bag. So again, I've GC'd it, so I have 5 in total. The downside with the messenger bag is you have -1 movement speed. So if I have a movement speed of let's just say 0, and I put this backpack on, I will have -1% movement speed. So again, every build's going to be different on the speed. So you may or may not care if you lose 1% speed, but depending on where your movement is, you may or may not need that. So that could make a difference. We have the small backpack. Again, 3 backpack slots, but I GC'd it, I God crafted it, and I have another 3, so I have 6 slots. Moving on, the basic backpack has 4. Now this one only has 4, right? But if you look, it's not GC'd, so I can go over here, I can go to the yard, I can grab the backpack, pay 5 million, and now I have a GC'd basic backpack with a total of 4, 5, 6, 7 slots. So again, if I go back to my inventory, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from that basic backpack. You have your small backpack. Oh, we did that one. We have the large backpack, which is 5. Again, not GC'd. I could GC it and have a total of 8. Commuter backpack. Day pack is 6. So again, these get crazy and they get all the way up to 9. And then you have your holiday items, your holiday backpacks, right? So the bunny backpack has 1 slot, but if you look at this, it gives 5% movement speed, right? So if I put this bunny backpack on, I now have my 1 slot that it gives me, and I God crafted it, so I can make my bunny backpack actually have 4 slots on it, and I'm getting movement speed. So again, depending on what you're doing is going to depend on what backpack you want, okay? We're just going to go through these real quick. So commuter backpack is 5 slots. The day pack is 6 slots. The military day pack has 7 slots. But again, look at that movement speed. You're losing 6% movement speed. The Trekker backpack. Now, this is one that everybody really wants. It's very popular. It's a very good backpack. It has 8 slots, okay? If you GC it, it's got, what, 8, 9, 10, 11? So look at all the inventory, guys. So you can see where this starts to build and build and build, right? Going from this to this is massive. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. You have the rucksack, which has 8. You have the large rucksack, again, which has 9. So look at that. 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 slots with that large rucksack, guys. And then you got your bunny backpack, which we just kind of went over. The Jacko backpack, again, 1 slot. But it gives you 5% damage inflicted. So an ability, right? Or not an ability, but another skill. Something different. You may not have a lot of room, but you're gaining some damage. And you may have a build that you need 5% more damage to 1-shot or 2-shot the enemies in that area. So there could be a reason why you prefer this backpack. Santa's gift sack, again, 3. Now this one's got 3 backpack slots. You can GC it and get up to 3 more. So you could have 6. But it gives experience, 5% experience. And then one of my favorites is the barrel backpack. I have it GC'd. You guys have seen me run this a lot. Gives me a total of 9 slots with a -3 movement speed. So just looking at this, so there's the barrel, and here is the large rucksack. Actually, here, let's do this. Find one with 6. All right, so you have the day pack or the barrel. Which one would you take? Well, the day pack is 6 plus 3, so I have 9 slots, but I lose 5 speed. Well, 6 plus 3, 9 spots, but I lose 3 speed. So again, the same amount of spots, but I'm not losing movement speed. So the holiday backpacks, guys, snag them up when you can. You have the bunny backpack for Easter. You have the Jacko backpack for Halloween, Santa's for Christmas, and then the barrel backpack. I think it may have been Halloween as well. What was the barrel backpack? Barrel August. So that one comes out on, what's nautical? I don't know what holiday that is. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, summer event. Okay, so that was for the summer event. But the barrel is one of my favorites. So we're going to talk about each of these backpacks in depth. And we're going to just go through this. So I'm going to flashbang you guys. I made a spreadsheet. So it's a white screen. I'm about to flashbang you guys. Just warning you. Okay. All right, guys. Looks like a lot of information, and it is. But I'm going to break this down to you. All right. So this has a list of the name of each item we're going to look at, the benefits of the speed, how many slots it has, the price that it costs, and the price per slot. So let's break this down. So starting out, you got the hip pouch. You don't lose any speed, but you don't gain any speed. It's a flat 0. You put the hip pouch on, you gain 1 additional slot, and you're going to pay 20 grand for it. Now, before you guys run to the marketplace and start buying these, if you go to crafting, type in backpack, you can craft a small backpack, a basic backpack, a large backpack, a commuter backpack, a trekker backpack, and a bunny backpack. So you can craft all these. You'll want to do the math, see what parts it takes, how much it costs, do all that stuff. It may be cheaper for you to make it yourself. So that's something to keep in mind, all right? Back to the flashbang. All right, so hip pouch, 0, 1, 20,000, and you're paying 20 grand a slot, right? You got 1 slot. It costs you 20 grand to buy the hip pouch, so you're paying about 20,000 bucks for a slot. Next up, messenger bag. So again, you're losing 1 speed, you're gaining 2 slots. It's 100 grand, and you're paying about 50 grand a slot. Small backpack, -2 speed, 3 slots, 87,000, about 29 grand a slot. Basic backpack, -3 speed, 4 slots, 284,000 per bucks to buy the basic backpack, and you're paying 71,000 guys per slot for that basic backpack. Next is the large. You're gonna lose 4 speed. You're gonna gain 5 slots. You're gonna pay 2 million, and you're gonna pay about 400,000 bucks per slot if you were to break that down. Next is the commuter backpack. You're not gonna lose any speed. You're gonna gain 5 slots. So see the difference there? These are all losing speed. The commuter backpack does not lose any speed, and you still get 5 slots. But what are you gonna do? You're gonna pay 25 million for that backpack. So that essentially is 5 million per slot. So keep that in mind, guys. So the difference in price there is because of this movement speed, right? And we'll talk about more of that here in a second. All right, moving on to the day pack. So the day pack, you lose 5 speed, you get 6 slots, 3.5 million to buy, 583,000 per slot. Military day pack, -6 speed, 7 slots, 6.6 million, about 942,000 per slot. The trekker backpack, -2 speed, 8 slots, 180 million, or 22.5 million per slot. So the trekker backpack, again, -2 speed plus 8 slots. So you're getting a ton of slots, guys, and you're not losing much speed. So, but you're going to pay for it. Literally, you're just going to pay for this. I mean, it's expensive. It's hard to find. It's hard to get, and it's very expensive. But in the long run, you know, it may pay to have that. So just keep that in mind. Next up is the rucksack. So the rucksack, -7 speed, 8 slots, 9 million in total, about 1.1 million per slot. The large rucksack, -8 speed, 9 slots, so has the most slots, 17 million, but 1.8 million per slot. And then down here you have the event, backpacks. So you got the bunny backpack. It gives you 5 speed. So out of all of these, it's the only backpack giving you speed, but you only have 1 slot. It's rather going to cost you 1 million to craft it, or you can pay 20 million for the Vendatron. You're looking at the backpacks. Let's find it here. The bunny backpack. It's only available during the events. This is the Easter event, so around April 18th, around there is when you're going to see the bunny backpack come into play. It's non-transferable. Gives you 5 movement speed, but you're going to pay $1 million to craft it. Or usually you can buy it from the Vendatron for 20 million. And what that is, if you're at the Second Bunker Outpost, you can go to the vendor. And typically during Easter, you can find it in here and pay if you wanted to do it that way. And pay 20 million, or do the event and look for 5 bunny stuffings and craft it yourself for $1 million. So essentially you could get it for $1 million, guys. Very cheap. Next is the Jacko backpack. You're going to gain 5% damage. You're going to get 1 slot, and all you have to do is do a challenge. And the same with the Santa in the barrel backpack. The Santa gives experience, and the barrel backpack Yeah, you lose 3 speed, but you gain 6 slots. So that's for storage. So looting backpack. Let me grab a drink, guys. All right. So we talked about the backpacks. We talked about the slots. We talked about the negatives and the benefits of them. We talked about the price. Now let's talk about the whys. All right. So why would somebody pay 180 million for the Trekker backpack? Well, that movement speed. So if I know that down here in the southeast zone that I struggle with speed, and then let's just say I put an implant on that gave me 5% movement speed. Well, if I put that implant on and realized I can outrun the zombies now or get around better, because there are thresholds where one, you'll outrun the zombies or it'll help you in some sort of way, right? So maybe that's the movement speed you need to just kind of push you over that edge. You know, yeah, it's 180 million a slot, but keep in mind, you're going to be able to hold a lot more inventory spaces, right? So if you take, what is that, 8, 9, 10, 11 slots, let's just say 40, let's just say on average 65,000. This backpack, every trip, guys, every trip that you fill this backpack up, you're going to make around 700,000 out of this backpack. That's saying 65K on average item drop. You know, should be around 40, may have some 80K ones, maybe a big drop, but 65K just to kind of call it even. And this backpack's going to make you $715,000 every trip. And you're not going to lose your movement speed. You're only going to lose 2% movement speed. So again, it's going to save you movement speed. It's going to gain you movement speed because you're not losing. If you were to take a rucksack, you know, look at that. You're essentially losing 5% more movement speed with the rucksack. It's cheaper, but that movement speed is very nice. And if you're playing this game for a long time, guys, the Trekker backpack's worth it because it's going to pay for itself. Yeah, it may take 100 runs, 200 loot runs, but in 200 loot runs, that backpack's paying for itself. So it's something to keep in mind, right? And then you're always going to have that movement speed. The other thing, this is the reason I like the barrel. So the barrel backpack, obviously the Trekker has 2 more slots, right? But if you're around during the summer and they have an event going on and you can get this barrel backpack for free, you essentially saved yourself 180 million bucks. Yeah, you lost 2 slots and 1 movement speed, but that's pretty good deal. That's why I like the barrel backpack, is because it's attainable for everybody and it really does have a good purpose. I really like that barrel backpack. But yes, I would say the Trekker is better. But for the price, it's just hard to beat the barrel. And again, the bunny backpack, you guys are going to see me use the bunny backpack all the time, because when I'm at Sekirnon Bunker, or I'm just in the wastelands, or, you know, give or take, doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm not out here looting, like doing full loot runs, I'm going to always have the backpack on, the bunny backpack, because of that movement speed. I can use that movement speed during grinding. I can use that movement speed running from point A to point B. I can use that movement speed doing bosses. I don't need all this inventory space, right? So I use different backpacks for each thing I do. So the bunny backpack is my go-to, like bossing or just running around. The barrel backpack is my go-to for looting. It probably should be the Trekker, but I'm just saying in general. And then you have the Santa's backpack you could use for leveling if you wanted with experience, or you could do the same with the Jacko backpack because of the damage buff. So maybe that, or even looting. If, let's just say your gun needs 5% more damage to 1-shot, 2-shot enemies, the Jacko backpack could be perfect for you. But again, you got to get it during Halloween, right? And then as far as these other backpacks go, you have to kind of do the math and see, you know, your movement speed, what kind of slots do you need, but don't be afraid to spend money on backpacks, guys. They're very important, and the longer you go without one, the worse off you are, because you could be spending that money and gaining these items and paying this off faster now than if you waited another 6 months. You know what I mean? So go through this. Look at this list I made. Where'd it go here? Look at this list I made. See what would work for your character. And then go from there, guys. But don't pass on the backpacks. They're very important. There's you can go to the wiki. Go to the wiki, go to items, go to here. Actually, let me just do it step by step. I'm on Dead Frontier, right? Up here it says wiki. Click wiki. It loads up. Go to items. Go down to other equipment. Go to backpacks. And then you can click base backpacks, blueprints, whatever, or just scroll down and look at the backpacks, read how to get them, tells you how much they are, so on and so forth. But don't be afraid to get a backpack, guys. A lot of people overlook them. They're very important, even for new players. Grab a hip pouch. You know, you don't have to GC it. You don't have to spend the 5 million. Go to the yard, you know, grab a hip pouch and enhance it, whatever. But don't skip on the backpacks, guys. So hopefully, I know a lot of you guys have been playing for a long time, know about this stuff. But if you haven't, hopefully this helps you guys out. Again, let me know in the comments. I love to see your guys' comments. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to review. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Join our Discord. It's 100% free. It doesn't cost you guys a dime. There's hundreds of people in there. Would love you guys to join. Link in description below. And I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if there's something you want me to review. Leave it in the comments below. I'll check it out. And until next time, you guys stay safe out there. Peace.